What's up, everybody? We're back.
Sports Triad.
Episode 13. We got the video. We got the mic. We got Tennessee's food. We're all here. We got a pretty fun podcast for you guys today. The big time interview with NM Hype. They hooked it up for us, actually. They got us some sweet kicks. So shout out to them for that.
Very sweet kicks.
Great interview. Kind of dive into the sneaker world.
Something that's pretty big for athletes.
It's on the rise too.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about that. We'll talk just very briefly. Not much sports action going on. You got the NBA, the PGA Championship that took place last weekend. You got the NHL. The Stanley Cup Finals are set. They're set. And we also have Ethan's Stupid Sports. So we're gonna jump into this right after this break.
Hey, Sports Triad listeners. Want to share your opinions, give feedback, or tell us what you're thinking? Send us a voice message.
Voice messages are an easy way for you to send us audio that might end up in a future episode of the Sports Triad podcast. They're the latest feature from Anchor, the platform that we all use to make this podcast work.
You can send us a voice message right now from wherever you're listening from. Let us know who you want to hear from next, what you thought of our episode, and even questions for a future Q&A session. Just tap the link in our show notes below to get started. We can't wait to hear from you.
Welcome back. We're going to jump right into podcast number 13. Tennessee, what's going on with NBA?
Western Conference Finals and Eastern Conference Finals. Only one conference final is remaining. And last night, Toronto beat Milwaukee 105-99, I believe. Big time win on the road, you know what I mean? But we'll save that for in a couple minutes. Let's talk about the Western Conference Finals, which has already ended.
Oh!
Clean sweep.
Yes.
Clean sweep.
That was crazy. Every game was just a thriller. I mean, come back down from
outside of game one.
The crazy part about it is we are this close from that being 3-1 Portland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the stat that ESPN had? There was 184 minutes played in the series, and 101 of them were led by Portland, and 83 were led by Golden State.
Yeah.
And it was a sweep.
It's pretty convincing. A sweep is a sweep, you know? Like, doesn't matter how much you're winning by. If you sweep someone, it's pretty convincing.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite part about the whole entire thing was the way Steph Curry played. 146, right? Total points in the 4 games.
Which is the most in a sweep, right?
Yeah.
And the dude was playing at an unreal level, which I'm glad to see. What is that? Oh, yeah. Steph Curry on my wrist. What up, pimps? Shout out to Ivan. But, yeah, no, Steph Curry, he went he was in the 30s, right?
Yeah, he had, it was like 32, or he had 36, 32, 36, and 37.
Yeah,
he had a triple-double game 4.
Yeah, him and Dre both had triple-doubles, which was the first time ever in NBA playoff history.
Yeah.
For two teammates to have triple-doubles.
And I mean, there's no bad here for Portland when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. They weren't supposed to be here. Vegas had them losing to OKC in the first round. Vegas had them losing, and Vegas is rarely ever wrong. They're never wrong. Vegas also had them losing to Denver, beat them, and then they came and played against the greatest team ever assembled, and they competed with them. And Damian Lillard didn't play that well. CJ was probably the second best player on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no, he was the third because I think Draymond was the best player in the series, and then I think it was Steph. And then I think it was CJ, because I think the way that Draymond's playing right now is by far how he was playing when they used to be winning before Durant.
So let's talk about the infamous Steph versus Seth matchup. It's so weird for me. I try to just comprehend what that's like for those two, what it's like for the parents.
Yeah, their family.
What it's like
for the family.
The teammates of.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure like Steph was talking about it. He goes, of course, whenever I'm on offense, I want to get mine if he's guarding me, but
yeah.
He said sometimes when he's guarding him, and he's still going to play defense to the best of his ability, but if he gets a hand in his face and Seth scores on him, he can't really be mad about it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not mad that it's going in. I'm kind of, I'm happy for him still, which is crazy. It's weird to think about because you're playing on, that's probably the biggest stage in basketball outside the finals.
Yep, and you saw his parents with one side,
flipping a coin
too.
Flipping
a coin and figuring out who's going to support who.
I don't know. Think about playing against Brady.
Yeah, that's just the weird thing. Unless I can't imagine. I don't know. But that was
kind of weird.
That was a cool storyline on the series to kind of make it a little more interesting. But Golden State, as everyone had expected, comes out of the West. Pretty much did it with ease, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
Anyone
a
else?
sweep like that. I was expecting like a
I was
a
expecting
4-1.
I thought it
maybe
was going to be a
4-2.
gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
5. But okay, so let's move on over to the Eastern Conference Finals. You got Milwaukee and Toronto. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it's
series?
going back to Toronto.
Yeah, it's
They're up 3-2.
Toronto's the last few games. They've really controlled the game. They've really impressed their will on the Bucks. I mean, it's not like they've really trailed much
Yeah.
last couple of games. They've really just gotten out front and stayed out front. Kawhi's playing great.
Yeah, he's
Van
out there.
Vliet had a good game.
He played well last night.
You know, it looks like it's more of a team effort from the Raptors than
Yeah.
it is from the Bucks. I mean, Giannis isn't playing well either.
Yeah, and what's crazy, he's not playing well, and yet he's averaging like 27, 12, and 8.
Yeah.
And that's just the type of that's the category that he's in now because of his play. So, I don't know. I think that, Toronto's obviously going to be favored in this game, but I really think that Milwaukee will win, but I think Milwaukee still might win the series. I don't know. I think they're going to win the series, but obviously.
Here's my hot take for you guys. Is Drake the Raptors' best player right now?
Dude, it's honestly getting annoying.
Yeah, dude. No.
It's annoying.
Wait, that's not even a hot take. That's just a stupid question.
You know, I mean, he's in Budenholzer's head. Budenholzer's going out in the press and saying that it's annoying.
Someone asked him about it. He's not just like, okay, before we start, Drake, I am not a fan.
Yeah,
All right, now we can talk about the game.
Yeah, but Drake's like going above and beyond. Like,
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of him going up behind the coach. And
yeah,
like,
no, I didn't like that.
I get that
like
it's
him going
Drake,
up to Nick
but
Nurse.
no one else is allowed to do that. Why is he allowed to do that?
Yeah,
Like it's kind of annoying. Like, you can be a Spike Lee and you can sit on the sideline and you can cheer.
Jay-Z's
jaw
part
the
owner of the
players.
Nets. He doesn't do that. Jay-Z's like a big, because the Nets have multiple owners, and he's a pretty decent sized owner. He owns a lot of shares.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. I don't know. I just don't think there's a place for it, and I think there's a time and a place to do it.
And like, why is he not doing this during regular season games? Like, okay, it's because it's playoffs and you want more exposure. I think it's more of a self plug, in my opinion.
I think it's his ego talking.
Yeah, and it's kind of garbage. So that's, if there's one reason I want Milwaukee to win, that's the reason, is for Drake to.
Yeah.
I mean, I like his music, but taking out on this part because it's kind of annoying. But so that's what we got for the current NBA playoffs. Let's move on to the All NBA team selections that were released yesterday.
Yeah. So you want me to tell him?
Yeah, name off
right.
first team. Do it.
The first team, Giannis and Harden both got nothing but first place votes. Stephen Curry,
Woo!
had 91.
he had 91. Paul George 71, and Nikola Jokic,
59.
59. And then, so we'll break that down. Do you guys agree with this? I think
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think it's solid.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think the second team and third team is where you can kind of make your own opinions on it.
I don't think. I mean, the second team was Kyrie.
I don't even think he should have been part of it.
Joel Embiid, Kawhi, Dame, and KD. I think Kyrie shouldn't be in there. I mean, Kyrie, he had a decent year. He had a good year for Boston, but I don't think it was second team All NBA worthy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably have argued. I don't know, because they changed it so guards. It doesn't matter the guard, and it doesn't matter the position. So I don't know. You could have put Kawhi in the first team if you wanted to. Like, you could make the argument, but I think that the second team is pretty much where it should be outside of Kyrie. And I think LeBron not getting a first place vote is a little bit stupid. I don't know. The dude averaged 27, 8, and 8 on 55% from the field, 37% from the three, and like 75 from the line.
I feel like a lot of it too though went into the team's success. I mean, you look at the first team, all of those teams, playoff teams. Second team, all of them are playoff teams. And then you look at third team. I mean, Kemba's on there, and
I'm happy for him. I'm happy he made it because he deserved it. We were talking about it before.
I think he should have been second team instead of Kyrie.
Ian Baker?
Okay, so there's
Let's
one
talk
thing.
about the guys that didn't make it.
Yeah, big one, Klay Thompson. They had him on camera today. Somebody was like, "Hey, did you see you didn't make the?" They were just like, "Hey, did you see you didn't make the All NBA team?"
He goes,
was
"Oh,
like,
they came out?"
He's like, "Came out today?" And they're like, "Yeah, you were like behind Kemba." And he goes, and did that. And He goes something about, I guess I'll take being a 5-time NBA Finals appearance over that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he said, I'd rather win a championship, and then he said going to the finals 5 straight times should play into that.
Yeah.
So, and then this is a whole thing with that. Do you guys?
Yes, sir.
All right.
This is the sound that makes for those that have never seen it.
Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors?
Two-door coop. What's that song? I don't know.
I don't know why.
Because if they had 4 doors, they'd be chicken sedans.
All right. Well. Boo. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. Do you think that this whole money thing with your eligibility for a supermax and all that should? In fact, he went to go get that. Do you think that you being all NBA, whatever, do you think that should factor into making your supermax deals? Like, should you be able to get it based on the player that you are?
I think it shouldn't be based on accolades.
It shouldn't be on accolades because I mean, this is crap.
Because now Klay Thompson can miss out on like $55 million or something like that. And I don't know why Bradley Beal is being talked about because I don't even know what he did.
Bradley Beal had a really good year.
Yes,
he carried the Wizards.
Yeah, they played well, and I think Bradley Beal's a really good player.
Yeah, no, he definitely played really well. He had a career year.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that there are other players that probably could have gotten in too. I just can't think of any. Like Vucevic, he was really good. What'd you say?
I don't even think he had any votes.
He had a really good. Do you have all the votes?
Yeah, I have all the votes right here.
Who else? Who are the top 5 that didn't make it?
Bradley Beal, Klay Thompson, Ben Simmons, Mike Conley, and Donovan Mitchell.
Mike Conley, really?
Yep, Mike Conley was in there, and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh, really? Okay.
And
where was Lou Williams at? I'm just curious.
Lou Williams he only had 113 vote.
There we go. It's all good.
Yeah, Pascal had a bunch of 13 votes. He had 4 votes. Yeah, this is. Yeah,
I mean, for the most part, they got it right. I think the only one that they didn't get was Kyrie. I think he more got that based off his name.
Yeah, Kyrie definitely should not have been in there. Did you see that thing about Giannis, where since he made
yeah, he's eligible for the
it's his contract is set up to be 5 years, 247.3 million.
With his against the cap hit, he'll make $55 million in his final year of his contract.
Disgusting.
So, and I don't know about you guys, but I could see him playing in Milwaukee long term, like for the rest of his career. I don't know why.
He's the kind of guy that he doesn't need the attention.
No, I don't think so.
Like the guy's just playing. I loved what he said the other night whenever he had that 12-point.
He's like, I got bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, he's all, really think I'm disappointed in my game. He's like, I've helped feed my family in Greece and in
sending
Nigeria.
money. Yeah,
You're like, I'm doing this for them. So why am I going to be disappointed in myself when I'm doing this for them?
Absolutely. So that's it for the NBA. We'll move on to another big sporting event that happened over the weekend since our last podcast as well, and that's the PGA Championship. And Brooks Koepka, the favorite, well, technically a lot of the people's favorite and all the analysts' favorite. Tiger was the Vegas' favorite, but Brooks Koepka was a lot of the people's picks, a lot of the experts' picks, and he pretty much showed why. So let's talk about that.
I mean, he pretty much dominated all weekend up until you can say Sunday he
had a bad final round.
Yeah, he had a bad final round. He was 12 under to start, finished 8 under, and DJ got up to 6 under.
Yeah, so they made it interesting.
Gap, and you think about it, 2 strokes kind of seems like a lot still. But that's 2 bad swings.
Yeah.
That's all it is out of his 60 whatever.
Well, think about it. It's 1 bogey and 1 birdie.
Yep.
And then it's tied.
Yep. That's all it is. And
he was 4 over in his final round, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He started 12 and ended 8. But so he's now a 4-time major champ, which 4 majors, and he's done it in 4 years. He's won the US. He won the US Open back-to-back in 16, 17. And then he's won the PGA back-to-back. And it's kind of obviously you can talk about the greats that are playing still right now. I'd say he's up there.
Like with Tiger, Phil, Rory.
But you also, if you want to talk all time, not really.
Yeah, he's not really close.
You got Tiger, who's at 15.
Would you say he's like a top 25 golfer of all time?
I'd say so.
Yeah, I'd probably put him. Oh
yeah,
he's different too because think about it. He's massive. Yeah. Like he looks like he's a what sport would you pinpoint him to if he wasn't playing golf?
I'd go in like rugby.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Baseball. He's got
or baseball player, like a first baseman type thing.
Yeah, third baseman.
But so yeah, he's got 4 championships, and it's in a span of 4 years, which is pretty dang good. You can win a major a year. You're solidifying yourself as one of the better players.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, he's congrats to Brooks Koepka. I don't know, but yeah, he's the next major is going to be the U.S. Open.
He's won that as well, right?
Yeah, he won it back to back in 16, 17.
So he went 16, 17 U.S. Open, and then 18, 19
PGA.
PGA.
Yeah, so that's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the U.S. Open's in June. I'm not sure when in June, but we'll do a quick NHL talk. Don't really want to talk about it. Sharks got beaten 6. But happy for the Blues. This is the first time they're making the Stanley Cup since 1970.
Wow.
So pushing 40 years since they've even had a chance. So obviously I'll be rooting for them over Boston.
Years.
Yeah, they'll be playing Boston.
Do you have a team?
50. Yeah, our teams are watching the Stanley Cup Finals from the same spot.
Yeah, but
Well, who's
you've been
your
watching
team?
for
The
a while.
Ducks.
You've been watching for a while.
Wait, what do you mean like the same spot? He made it far though.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but
You acted like
but they're all on the couch, bro.
okay, yeah, only one
I
team
don't know why
wins.
he hates on the Sharks so much. It's probably because we.
I just like talking crap to Bryce and the Sharks.
we spank them every year, but
He's not wrong.
Bruins, Blues, Stanley Cup. Definitely do not want the Bruins to win, just because Boston has had enough.
Dude, they're freaking title town right now, dude. The Patriots have been so good.
If they win this, they'll have won 3 out of the 4 major sports,
Yeah.
it's
in
not
1 year.
basketball.
That's ridiculous.
and they had a good basketball team. So I'm going for St. Louis. Go St. Louis.
Shout out Sam Orff because I know he's a big Blues fan.
Shout out Dr. Jeffrey Smith, biology. He's a big Blues fan.
Really?
Yeah, that's my guy. I've had like 6 classes with him, and he loves all.
You just sound like a loser to me. But
Oh yeah. I'm graduating in December.
sick brag. When are you starting post undergrad?
Next fall.
Me too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Post undergrad? Why'd you say it like
Is
that?
it grad school?
I mean, it's grad school, but I'll be
What is it called though?
pharmacy school.
Yeah, so it's just it's separate.
I might mess around and take the MCAT.
You're gonna mess around and take it, so like.
Depending on how I do on the.
When do you start studying for that?
I've already started.
No, he hasn't.
What have you like opened it or something?
No, I
No, you
haven't
haven't.
studied this.
No.
He's just doing it on purpose.
I'm over it.
All right, so we're done with sports for this pod.
Not a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about stupid sports. Ethan has one that he's been dying to
Oh,
tell
guys,
about.
I'm so excited for this
How
one.
excited could you be about this?
This is amazing. This is actually an Olympic sport.
What?
It was an old Olympic sport.
Oh, so it's
It's not
So
anymore.
the name of the game is plunge for distance. What you do is you start on a platform
plunge for distance
in a pool. You just dive as far as you can, and you see as far as you can float.
Float?
Float. You can't move a muscle or anything on your body. You just float and keep your head down, basically like you're drowning. You just float.
That's tough.
See how far you can go. So this was an Olympic sport in 1904, whenever it was in St. Louis. Back when they had this in 1904, 3 Americans swept the podium.
Jesus.
First, second, and third.
Oh no.
The winning distance was 19 meters.
I
Floating,
feel like I could float farther than
floating
19 meters.
face down.
Oh, face down?
Dude, you lay out and you just float. Like you dive into the pool and you just
So
float.
you can't float on your back.
No, you just float face down.
Yeah, I'm not floating anywhere farther.
Like
than
basically
one.
like you're drowning.
Face down.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and they dropped it because it seemed almost pointless. 2, it didn't get much like fan praise. Not a whole lot of people liked it. And
wasn't
3, it didn't require much athleticism. Like you just dive off a board. Like
Yeah,
if
you could be a 400 pounder and do it, and you could float forever.
400 pounder.
Yeah.
Like it's a fish.
Yeah.
You could be a 400 pounder.
Yeah, it's like a tuna.
Think about it. I bet you could float pretty far as a 100 pounder.
But could you imagine, like, how many feet are in a meter? Like, what's like 3 feet, 3.5 feet?
It's like over 3, right?
Yeah. Okay, 19. So you're talking about floating almost 50 feet,
Nope.
60 feet, 60 feet, just
Thank you.
face down. Just
Oh, dude, I thought you could float on your back.
no. These people were face down. Like, go look at the video. Plunge for distance. They are just Nacho Libre. Like, whenever he dives off the cliff,
Yep.
that's how these people are in the water, just face down,
Oh,
just floating on.
All right. Well, that was probably my favorite stupid sport so far.
Yeah, plunge for distance.
Plunge for distance.
That one's pretty dope. But
I don't know.
that's all we have
my
for
favorite
sports.
still extreme ironing.
That's a good one. That's like I think that's probably my favorite.
I don't know, dude. Think about shin kicking. You just grab each other. Boom! Take turns.
Or extreme slapping.
Extreme slapping.
Yeah, they've all been pretty good. I don't know. I like this one. It's a little different. But that's all we have for sports. We're going to jump right into our very dope interview with NM Hype. For those of you guys that don't know, stay tuned for the interview. They'll tell us all about themselves. And yeah, it was a really awesome interview. Not a super long one, normal length interview. But we'll jump right into that.
Okay. All right, guys, we're back. Episode 13 of the Sports Triad podcast, and today we got a big one, a lot of new for us. We're here with NM Hype. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
So we'll start out by introducing you guys yourselves, and kind of just we'll start with that.
My name is Jordy. I'm an employee here.
I'm Melissa, and I'm the owner of NM Hype.
I'm Jason. I'm an employee too, I guess.
And I'm Trevor, and I'm an employee here too.
All right. So yeah, we'll get right into it. So for a lot of people that don't know, they're like sneakers is kind of like there's a whole love for it. You know what I mean? Like there's a passion about it, and a lot of people don't understand like buying something more than $500 for something that you're not going to wear every single day. So talk about where you guys' love for sneakers and streetwear came from that kind of went into creating this whole store.
So me personally, I started back in like 2010, freshman high school. You want to be the popular kid in school,
Oh, yeah.
so you gotta.
Yeah, come on, that's the whole
You gotta
thing.
dress right.
That's are you talking about like first thing you look at is someone's kicks?
Oh, yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
that's the same.
of
I'm the
course.
same way.
Yeah, I used to wait in line for
contact,
shoes at the mall here. Wait in line every Saturday, pick up a fresh pair of shoes. The limited releases. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
And then, started an addiction.
Yeah, that's really what it is, honestly.
No, it is because, I mean, before I met this guy, it was like, 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 or
Something like
5,
that.
something like that.
I knew nothing about sneakers, and I was always like, you paying for more than $200 for some shoes? And
Yeah.
then he took me out to Cali, like Melrose Boulevard, all those
Yeah,
places.
round 2,
And-
Flight Club, all those
Yeah,
spots.
and when I picked up these shoes that are worth like $5,000, I'm just like, I should not be in the store. But after he introduced me to that, it's a crazy culture. Like
Right.
it's awesome. And,
It's motivating.
oh yeah,
And
it's-
that's where I got my motivation from this guy. So he works for me on my other company in R&M Government Services. And when we met, I used to look at his shoes and I was like, damn, those are some nice shoes, Jordy. And he'd be like, all the time, every day, every single day, different type of shoe. And I'm like, where does this kid get all these shoes? So he had a big collection. And then we used to just always talk. And then we had another employee, Quincy, that was with us, and unfortunately he moved to Phoenix to go do bigger and better things. And so me and him and Quincy, we started like talking about it. We would talk about it for many years, many years. And then I started just kind of getting into shoes, and he started educating me about them. And because when I was a kid, I couldn't afford this. I was poor. I mean, my parents were poor. My mom was poor. Single mom, 9 kids. You know, I had the cheap $11 shoes
There you
or
go.
whatever.
Hey, yeah.
And then,
That's-
so
yeah,
when you get
same
grown
way.
up, you start being able to afford, and just thank God that we're blessed, and so we started becoming to be able to afford this stuff. And then I would ask him for a lot of advice and stuff, and here we are now.
I mean, this is
Was there
pretty
like
crazy.
a specific shoe that really like kicked it off for you?
Yeah, the shoe that started off for me was the Bread 4,
Ooh, that's a good one.
1999 release. Oh man, the Nike Air on the back, everything. There's that.
It went away for a while too.
Yeah, man, it just recently came out.
Yep. That's a big. So talk like for employees like you guys, like
Well, I'm just here. I'm following my brother's footsteps.
Yeah.
Like, I'm into shoes. Like how he is. He got me into shoes. But yeah.
For me, he put me on. He was the one that told me about
Yeah.
everything. I didn't know much about
Uh-huh.
these. And then one day, I went to the other office where they work, and then she was just like, "I'm making a shoe store," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "You in or out?" And I was like, "I'm in. Let's see what it does."
is it as fun as it seems like because
Yeah,
you see like there's round 2 like they don't look like they're like that looks like it's just going to a shoe store and just having fun the whole time. Is it really as fun as it seems like being around all this crazy stuff the whole time and getting to interact with people with the same interests as you guys?
Yes, it is.
It's
And
fun.
then you get to see all the different shoes, the different collabs out there. You get to touch the different felt of the shoes, the different
crazy.
leather. We
So-
have 94s here.
The Jordan 1s.
And
Was that them in the glass cage
that
right there?
leather
Yeah.
there is just
Yeah.
way different than
I mean,
compared to
and
the
it
leather
and it
today.
means a lot to sneaker, I guess, addicts. You know what I mean? So like for example, like the shattered backboards, like that's known as that's like top tier Jordan Jordan leather. And then there's different releases of Jordan 1s, and people aren't as happy with if you're a Jordan head. They're like, no, this is not shattered back. Yeah.
Right.
Like the ones that drop.
So let's talk about. We got in a little bit about you starting the shoe store. What exactly, for the people that are listening that don't know, what exactly is NM Hype, and what are you guys trying to do?
So NM Hype is a local store in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and we basically opened it up here in downtown because of the culture and what it's going to bring. I mean, it's starting to grow, Las Cruces downtown, you know, with the bars and just the hype and everything else. And we wanted to bring our own special hype to Las Cruces and not have to go to Phoenix or Tucson or California or Las Vegas or whatever. And we just wanted to bring the culture here to Las Cruces and see how it would do and how it would grow and stuff. And it's been rewarding, it's been fun. And of course, it's a lot of hard work.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it doesn't happen overnight. We've been open for 5 months, and we've done really, really, really well in sales. And just, I mean, even internet sales, people from El Paso are starting to hear from us.
Oh, really? Okay.
And just trying to get the word out. And still people come in and, hey, we didn't even know you guys were here. We're kind of hidden.
Yeah, because it's like it's for people that don't know. It's like upstairs, like
Right.
kind of right where where the farmers market is and stuff like that
Right.
on down here. It's kind of like kept away. So when you come up here, it's like a hidden gem.
Right.
You're like, oh my god, I can't believe all this stuff's up in here.
This is huge because, as you said before, I mean, we've all gone to Vegas, we've gone to LA, and that's really the only place you see all of these shoes that you have in here. Like, we're walking around, we're seeing the Off-Whites, and we're seeing all the
Yeah,
Jordans.
so
I
Air
mean,
Mags in front of us.
yeah,
Travis
you-
Scott's.
You don't see stuff like this. I mean, you go to, like, the mall here, and you're going to walk into Foot Action, you're going to see...
Yeah, just a little bit
some
step up from
flights.
foot. Yeah, some
you're going to
flights.
see, like, Foot Action, or you're going
Some
to...
Jordan slides.
Yeah, you know, so stuff like this, like, people don't understand how big of a deal this really is whenever you really love sneakers, and
Right.
this is like the premier place in this area to make your
Right.
way down here and see some of the shoes that, you know, cost a pretty penny, but they're so worth it.
Right. The value doesn't go down; it goes up.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the shoe,
always.
In the shoes, you can sell your used shoes and get the same,
Exactly.
or even more what you paid for them. So it's
so.
it's rewarding in itself.
Yeah.
But this building here, when we first got it, it took us 2 months to get this up and running.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was green. The floor was nasty.
What was it before?
A yoga studio.
A yoga studio.
And it
It
smelled terrible. It
Gotta air this place
smelled.
out.
That's what the mirrors are for, right?
Right. It's
Oh, that's
and we
right.
were
That's
actually
probably
going to
why.
take those mirrors and take them off.
Uh-huh.
And then we're like, no, let's see what we can do with them.
Yeah.
And we met a really good guy, Mario. He's our next door neighbor. He has a CBD shop, and he built all our shelving for us and everything else. And like, I had the vision, but getting my team to have that vision was hard because it was late nights.
Yeah.
We would come from the other job, 5 o'clock, leave at 2 o'clock in the morning, go back to work to the other job. And then he was going to school, he was going to school.
That's crazy.
So we had to paint, and then I left my knees on this floor. I sanded the whole floor, the whole floor.
It's like a hard
Looks sort of
type
confused.
of business to gauge too. You're dealing with shoes going up and down in price and fluctuating all the time, and you never know when like the sneaker market could just drop all of a sudden. Because there has been stuff like there's different shoes that have gone for $2,000-$3,000 to drop to $200-$300, and then you're like, okay, now we
Like the
just
human race.
yeah, exactly. The human race is a perfect one. All those were $1,100, $1,200, $1,300. Now you can get them for $300-$400, and then it becomes diluted and oversaturated, and then you're kind of just sitting there with duds. You know what I mean? So it's
Right, that's
it's
what
a big
happened
risk
to me
to make
with
this
the
type of thing
Pharrells.
happen.
When the Pharrells dropped, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
when they first came out, they were like at the high,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they dropped, I was like, oh, that broke my
yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
That broke my
Yeah,
heart.
well, you look at like StockX and you look at Go and those websites. I mean, the Pharrells at one point you couldn't find them for less than $1,000, $2,000,
You're
some,
right.
almost up to like $9,000, $10,000 on some of them. And now, I mean, you see them, they're like $300, $400.
170.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're looking at
the
the retail
human,
price
yeah.
for them.
Oh yeah, all those like the colorful ones.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so, I mean, that kind of breaks your heart, but it also keeps you motivated because there's always another shoe that you can go get. And there's always a better shoe. It's just kind of like a person. There's always a better person.
That's right.
So it's like, it's nonstop. It's addicting for me. I can personally say that this is addicting for me because I spend most of my nights looking for that particular shoe that everybody's gonna fall in love with.
That's
and for
awesome.
me, it's all the off-whites.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite type?
They
favorite
call
brand?
me the hype beast because I just love the
I love the
off-whites.
Off-White's awesome.
Off-White's, yeah.
And
The Gucci girl.
I'm the Gucci girl. I love Gucci. Gucci.
What do you
Gucci
guys? What do you
Off-Whites.
guys think of the whole online sneaker business, like Grailed, StockX, those ones where like you can kind of don't even have to go to the store anymore? And what do you guys think that how you guys compete and compare? Because like for people that have been here, it's an experience. So and you guys are the type that don't wrap your shoes so people can really get hands-on feel with them. So what do you guys think of the experience versus not having to leave in the confines of your own home to buy something?
I mean, I don't see it as competition. You know, I see it as a great thing because there's sneakerheads all over the United States and in different countries and everything else like that. So I don't really look at that compete factor because honestly, I buy a lot from Go and StockX. And the reason I do that is because they're authentic. You know, 99.9% they're authentic, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't mind buying from that. But I also don't mind buying from the local guys that come in and the kids and stuff and trying to help them out, you know. And me, what it's about is just putting a smile on a kid's face.
Yeah.
And when that's my satisfaction, you know, this is kind of like a hobby to me. So when that kid walks out that door and with that smile, that's what lightens my heart.
Yeah, and for me, that's the coolest part too, is because I've come home with some shoes sometime, and I have a little brother who's in 7th grade, and all of his buddies, because I used to help coach their basketball team. And one day I walked in with some Jordans on, and they were all like, "What?" Like all going crazy. So I need to bring my brother in here too. But like you said, it's putting a smile on these kids' face, and even people like us, like. When I walk out of here with a pair of shoes, I got a smile on my face too.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome.
It's not even the shoes. Like, we turn the corner, and I see the Darryl Strawberry jersey, and then I see the signed Nolan Ryan jersey.
Is that Dak Prescott, Mississippi State?
Yeah.
Right there? Yeah, that's my guy. Shout out to the Cowboys.
That
There's
made
a
me,
Mariota right here too. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's awesome.
So let's get into each and every one of y'all's your favorite part of the whole hype scene. So we'll start down here. What's your favorite part of the entire thing?
Like, what do you like?
So like, it could be sneakers, it could be streetwear, it could be, I mean, what you want to rock
Relationships,
one day,
like the culture, community.
something like that.
I don't know.
The
As far
discount?
as- yeah, probably just the shoes.
Employee
Honestly.
discount.
Like, I like to walk around because when you walk around out there, people are like, they just look and they're just like, "Where'd you get those?" And
That's where people's eyes tend to go.
Yeah,
That's the
to
whole
certain
cloud
shoes.
factor. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
shoot, that is
especially
rocking.
at the university, people just look
Oh,
at
yeah.
you.
Exactly, because you don't see it around here.
Yeah.
Because this is new. It's new. I mean, for the past however many years, this place has been on the world. There's no sneaker store here, so people are.
Everything makes its way out this way. Like, I mean, the shoes that you're seeing now, like Off-Whites. I mean, they came out a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, and then. I mean, now everybody here is going crazy for them, but people out on the West Coast and Cali have been on this for over a
It's
year now.
nothing new.
Yeah, so this is just
people in
another shoe for
Vegas
them.
and
Yeah.
Cali, and they all have it.
Oh, yeah.
It's all accessible to them.
Exactly.
And now it's accessible to everybody in this community. El Paso, Alamogordo, Albuquerque people come. So it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
And
fun to
with
see.
him, I can honestly say it's shoes.
Yeah.
Because this kid, he'll get, okay, I got him the Travis Scotts, okay? All right. The next day, it's a different shoe, right, Jordy?
That's the whole thing.
That's
Like
how I am,
you're
like,
exposed
I
to
see,
something.
yeah.
It's an addiction. You're exposed to something. So once you get that shoe that you've been looking for 2-3 months,
looking
and
for the next
you're
one.
like, okay, I got this one out of the way.
like, let's
Don't
see
even need to
what's
wear it.
next,
Now I'm
yeah.
look for the next one. That's a cool. It's a cool thing about the whole sneaker community about
And
that.
especially like see people out there and they're like, "You're into shoes," and I'm like, "Yeah." And then like, "Well, I've been into shoes," and I'm like, "For real?" And they're just like, "Yeah, but I just
that's
don't have those." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, that's the cool thing too. You can kind of click with people that you would never expect to
Yeah.
click with just
It brings
because
a whole different-
of shoes.
Yeah, such cool people.
it's crazy out there.
So what about you, my man?
Well, I just love having like a shoe that catches people's eyes. Though.
Okay.
Like if you go, say you go to school, like how Trevor said,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, where'd you get those?
Mhm.
like here, bro. But yeah, I just like the shoes.
You're a shoes guy too?
Are you a Jordan or a Nike guy, or are you an Adidas guy?
I'm a Jordan and Adidas guy.
Okay, all right.
And I guess for me,
What about the owner?
I guess it's just the connections you make, the
Yeah.
different people you meet, the different kids you meet, the different young adults you meet. I think that's what catches my eye. I'm not necessarily, they laugh at me because I try to stock up my closet and it didn't work. It was just too much clutter for me. So I
got rid of it?
all here.
Okay.
They're on my own shelf right there. But I'm like, if you guys need to sell them, you know. To me, it's about the connections and to grow this into a bigger aspect of things. Maybe landing a Nike account, Adidas account.
Yeah.
You know, that's my vision, is to get us
That's crazy.
Trying to get up there.
trying to
that's
get us
awesome.
really fast moving and just trying to make the right connections, you know, so we don't have to buy on GOAT, StockX.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
Getting our name out there, and just keeping these guys happy.
Yeah.
That's my main goal, my main focus.
That's awesome. What about you?
Me, yeah, I'm into shoes, man. I got Jordan tatted on my neck.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, Jordan tatted on my neck. But I collected a lot of Supreme accessories.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had everything from the crowbar.
There's stuff like that. Like, people don't understand. Like, if you slap a Supreme logo on anything, people are gonna
They'll pay for it.
a crowbar.
Yep.
A basketball.
Yeah.
Brick, yep.
The what?
Brick.
Oh,
Brick.
that's the stupidest one ever.
The bouncy ball.
Yeah.
We have the shower cap right there.
I didn't even know.
I mean, that was ridiculous.
You put it
to
on
me.
you put it on a blender, like, oh, people are eating that up because people like it for aesthetic. So I bet like 90% of the people don't even use it. They just buy it. Like, what are you gonna use a brick for? How are you gonna use that?
But if you guys think about it, it's
Kill someone with
challenging
hype?
to get on these websites and try to get whatever you want. It's challenging.
That's
is.
what's fun.
But
To
that's
be
what
like,
keeps
did you
going.
hit?
Every week, every Thursday, everybody
9
knows
a.m.
Supreme.
These just came out.
This
I bet.
morning.
Yeah.
We tried for Supreme this morning. Took a L.
Yeah. Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
but that's the fun part about it, is we take out our day just to get all this stuff that we get, and then we try to get more and more and more and more, and it's nonstop. It doesn't stop. And my husband asked me, when are you going to stop? I'm like, I'm not
It's a marathon.
stopping.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not stopping. So, and he's not really into this stuff, but
So, I mean, you guys have obviously you've been around to see the whole the shoe game kind of evolve, and each shoe kind of has their own place. Where like at one part of the year it's Adidas, it's huge. Next it's Nike, and then back to Adidas, and then Jordan comes out, and you're just like, damn, Jordan's on top right now. So tell me a little bit about how you think the sneaker game's evolved, and where you think each maybe shoe company's on top, and where you would rank them.
So it all started, the Concord release in 2011. That's what the chaos
I remember
was.
people. I remember that there was all those videos like that went viral for like people like fighting each other in the mall, and, like sprinting into the mall just to find those. I remember that.
I was one of them.
One of them?
Yeah.
Guilty.
2011. I remember. I'm never gonna forget. I stood in line here in
They
the
had
snow.
them here.
Snow. 2011. Outside the mall, 3 in the morning till 8 in the morning. They opened the doors. Everybody with snow on their shoes, sliding everywhere, running over there, and getting in line. I couldn't get a pair that day, but I ended
and
up
that was
getting
the fun part, you know.
Yeah,
Seems
waiting
like
in
people
line.
come out of the trenches
riots.
when it comes to
Well, look at the
especially here.
SBs, the dumps.
pigeons.
Those
the
went-
pigeons.
Oh, those are nice.
In New York, that
That's
was
why
a crazy riot.
Oh yeah. Like
Crazy.
2009, I think.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
the original ones. Those
Yeah,
are
they're-
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, right now, the one that's killing the game right now, I feel like it's the Nike Air Max is coming back. The Air Max, and then Adidas with the Ultra Boost and the Boost material. They've been killing.
I mean, that's just comfort. I feel like comfort took over in terms of that because, I mean, Nike had that down year when Adidas was dropping. They had, they still had the contract with Kanye, and then they were dropping the Ultra Boost and NMDs and the Pharrells, and then I think kind of came full circle, and Nike withstood that whole thing, and now they're back on top. They got Virgil with them and all sorts of they got the
Right
Jordan,
now,
yeah.
he's killing the game right now.
Oh
Travis
yeah, no,
Scott.
Travis Scott's on. Yeah, that's crazy.
and I'm going to mention the Kardashians. The Kardashian family in itself is killing the game.
It's crazy.
You got Travis Scott on the Nike side. You got Kanye on the Easy side. And then what's next? I mean, who's next in that family?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the
crazy.
Kardashian. I mean, she's a she's phenomenal. Chris is phenomenal.
Oh, which one? It's one of them's a billionaire, isn't it?
Kendall.
Yeah,
Kylie.
Kylie's a billionaire.
She's
She's the richest family in the. She's the richest one out of the whole family, and she's my age, which shows how big of failures we are.
Well, to think about it, you got the Calabasas. You
Yeah,
got
those
the
two,
Yeezys, You have, I mean, they're killing the game, and he's really killing the game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he is the game right now, because everybody's longing for that shoe.
Wants that shoe. If you get on StockX and you look at that shoe,
Yeah, what are they going? I haven't checked. What are they going for right now?
The price has just been
going
changing.
up.
It's just
1,200. Today I looked and it was 1,200. I'm not sure what size, but it just keeps going up and up and up.
I'll never forget. My probably my best purchase is when the Sean Witherspoons were like kind of down. They were going for like $450.
Loved those.
Oh yeah, I still have them. They're just I don't even wear them anymore because like they're not gonna re-release them. And so I got them when they were really popular, and then they went down to like 400, like 500. So I think I got them for like $5, and I wore them for a few times, and I saw them like shoot back up to like 1,300. I was like, all right, I'm never wearing these again.
That was the day he stopped.
Yeah.
And that was my mistake. But he really wanted that shoe. And I was like, it's low, $400,
One of my favorite shoes,
$500.
for
The
sure.
next day, it was $1,200, and these guys were
It's
like,
crazy. I don't understand.
and they're just gone up since. They've just ridiculously.
I feel
gone
pretty
up.
accomplished for being able to purchase it on a certain day.
But that's where we're at. We see all those trends and stuff. We had the unions; those were down low.
Now
They're
talking about being
red,
like the sneaker of the year.
Yeah.
We had a lot of them. They were just
3-4
sitting
pairs.
so low.
What other ones we have?
They're not for resales.
Oh, yeah,
Not for
yeah,
resales.
they're cool, yeah.
One of my favorite shoes. We had a couple of pairs for the longest, and those shot up too.
Yeah.
So it seems like all the ones are killing the game right now, other than the new Air Maxes that are coming out.
Yeah.
The PPEs, man.
And
Oh,
where
yeah,
it's
the
at
adapts,
is
yeah.
Japan. I mean,
Really?
the Japan styles is the ones that are way high, like really high.
Mhm.
We don't really get those drops here, so they're really hard to come
So,
by.
talk about prices. I kind of want to get a perspective from people who actually work in the business. What do you guys think about these prices that are over $1,000? You think they should be that much, or what do you guys think about all that?
To me, it's just the name.
That's
It's
people
just
more
the
about the
name.
brand.
People pay
Yeah.
for the name. Yeah, people pay for the name.
That's all I think it is.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It just keeps changing. Like every day,
Yeah.
it's something new, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this shoe was out here, and then I just tell her, I'm like, the shoe's going back up.
Yeah. That's crazy because you could for Champion, like that was in
Oh, yeah.
Walmart.
Right.
That was
that
at
was-
Walmart.
I would buy those like if I needed to. If I had like a last minute tournament, we needed to wear like some black shorts. I'd go to Walmart and get a pair of
Yeah, no,
Champion shorts. Now they're
Supreme.
Supreme and Champion. Like that's just like they hated the name and now they're back on the name, and I feel like some brands have kind of.
It's just a collab.
It's insane.
If you do a collab with anybody,
And see, you guys are all young. I'm kind of older. So I saw all these brands, I saw the old Jordans, I saw all that. But when I was young, nobody really thought about it. And if you talk to people my age, they're like, oh, we got rid of all our shoes, we got rid of all this. But I feel like all of the stuff just keeps coming around and around
Rotation.
and around in a rotation. Back to the Future was me when I was growing up. I just went to a New Kids on the Block concert
the one
in
they
El
had
Paso.
last night.
It was
Like
2 nights ago.
Yeah, 2 nights ago. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
There was one. Dang, really? I didn't
And
even know
so,
that.
I mean, those are, my generation, but you guys are also seeing my generation, but I'm also getting to see the 60s and 70s come back,
Yeah.
the 50s come back, the way people roll their pants.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's crazy. My dad talks about it all the time. Like some of the stuff that we wear and how we wear it now. I mean, he was like, we used to wear that in like the 80s, and now and in the 90s and the early 2000s, that you would be considered a loser. You know what I mean? Like if you wore it like that. Now it's just like it's kind of like the whole like kind of the
Just a trend.
yeah,
It's
like,
like
I don't know, it's a
yeah.
trend.
Yep.
I mean,
What are you
I don't-
going to say?
Wait, what was the question?
Oh
No,
yeah,
no.
the prices on some of these shoes. I mean, like some
Oh.
of the off whites. I mean, you have the Prestos. I mean, they're pushing 1,500, 1,600.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, it just really depends on the shoe. Like if it's like how you said, the Prestos, that I could see because like it's a dope model of a shoe.
Yeah.
How it's distressed. But yeah, in my opinion, it just really has to depend on the shoe.
Depend on the shoe, yeah.
Like those, yeah, I can see how those are the Air Mags.
Oh, yeah.
I can
Oh
see
yeah,
how
well,
That's
they
crazy.
only made so many of them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then
And then
There's 1,500 of those.
and then they were auctioned off on Yeah, eBay, like that would never happen anymore. They would never do that anymore, and it was all for the Parkinson's Foundation. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. So talk about the resale business. Obviously, it's good for you guys because you guys are kind of a huge piece to that with the being in a store. So talk about what it's done for the sneaker community, and talk about if there is negative aspects to it, considering that prices go up and certain people may not be able to afford them.
Well, so recently we started I know it sounds crazy, a layaway, you know, for kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To put 20% down, and then you can make payments on that one particular shoe. Because I understand you can't always afford what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we recently just started that in the shop. You know, hey, how can we reach out to the people that can afford it right off the bat? And then you got the shoes that go down, and it's a constant. It's a stock market.
It's crazy. Like, you have to read every single day you're reading these prices every single day.
And we're always
crazy.
talking about it. And we're always saying, hey, you think this shoe's going to be good? Should we hold on to it? We pull shoes. As ridiculous as that sounds, we pull shoes and we put them in the back to see, you know, when that shoe is going to come back up or if it's not going to come back up. And it's a constant. It's a constant.
It's a crazy. It's because like you don't see that at places like Dick's. You don't see that at places like Hibbett Sports.
Right.
Yeah, those are where
you
you're
they're not like, maybe we should put this in the back because it'll go up.
Yeah.
It's great, and that's the cool part
Watch
about
over
this
these
whole
cleats.
thing. Yeah. That's the cool part about this whole thing, and it's
Talking
super
about
admirable.
cleats, Clint Frazier took
Who is
he plays right field for the Yankees. Took the Travis Scott's.
Oh, did
put
he
some
turn him into-
spikes on him?
He's done all kinds.
Jordan's made that too. They have they have all sorts of
Yeah,
cleats
golf
with their
cleats.
models.
They
Yeah, golf
got-
cleats.
they got
Yeah,
big
I had a
with
pair of
cleats.
cleats for football too.
yeah.
Well,
Des
they're
Bryant
starting to
sponsored
do
by Jordan.
the Concords in golf shoes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, I've seen
if
those.
they're all coming out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But if you guys think about it, everybody wants to be Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
We all want to be Hollywood.
Yeah,
And
100%.
Hollywood doesn't want to be Hollywood.
Yeah, they're like they don't like being called Hollywood for some
Right.
reason.
So talking about Hollywood and now in LA, have you guys been to the stores like Flight Club, Round 2? Have you guys been out there?
He has been to Round
Okay.
2
It's crazy.
and all those other shops, but I go to Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
So I go to Two Kick Shop
Okay.
a lot.
Urban Necessities. That place is crazy.
And,
Urban Necessities is crazy.
I mean, I think he's the guy to look up to.
And the sneaker Don. Yeah.
And, you know, I really feel like he is. I really feel like he's very approachable guy, very down to earth. He'll talk to you, have a conversation with you, and I think that he makes this sneaker stuff more intriguing.
Okay.
Ethan, we've
Especially
been
to
there.
me because he's kind of my age, you know, and
Okay,
I've
yeah.
seen these guys, and it's wonderful to see that older people can do it too.
Oh yeah, I know. We went to Vegas a couple years ago. We went to Urban Necessities and we were there. We went the first day and like we were checking it out, just kind of drooling over everything. Then we went back the second time, and this was right whenever Lonzo Ball came into the league, and they were the Balls were there. We met LeVar and LaMelo and LiAngelo were there.
Yep.
And we got to meet them, and I mean they were going to do a pop-up there 2 days later for their shoes that were about to come out. So it was a huge thing. Like being there, we're like, dang, this is
It's
like,
legit.
Yeah, in our eyes, we're like, dang, this is about to be the mecca of like.
It's cool because like I had already been part of it or like invested into that, so like it's kind of cool like for you guys, like it's showing someone, kind of exposing someone to that. Like like the LeBron Palmers, you know those ones? Those are the ones that he's talking about.
So I picked them up and I was like, oh, these are cool, and I flipped them,
It was like $7,000.
and I was like,
And
I should leave.
And like he used to, like straight up used to be the type of guy that you would get excited for like just normal Jordans, and then I was like, yo dude, you need to come out here with me and let me show you what Flight Club looks like. And he picked those up and it was like $9,000. So it's like a cool factor and a cool experience to expose someone and get someone interested in sneakers. So
And I think the motivation, like I said, it motivates you because you want that sneaker.
yeah,
And if you guys, they all know me, I'm like motivated because I wanted that shoe. I wanted that shoe.
Yep.
And so they see how I'm motivated, and I work harder just to get what I want in the shop and stuff for you guys.
Yeah, so like going off of what he said, I used to be like one of those kids, just the normal Nike sneakers that you get at Walmart or something. And but him introducing me
me to this, like if you go look at my closet now, and I'm a big Jordan 11 guy. So
Dude, that's all he buys.
I love Jordan. Like I came in here a couple weeks ago.
It's mostly just the lows.
Yeah, I like the lows.
You bought the gold.
Yeah, the
See?
gold. Yeah. So, but it's cool. Like I work at. Have you guys been to Andale's Doghouse?
Mm-hmm.
You heard of that restaurant? Yeah. So I work down there, and every time I'm checking the tips, I'm like, $10 closer to some new 11s. But I mean, like you said,
At
that's
A&M
the
Hype,
cool part.
right? No,
A&M
that's
Hype, that's
A&M
right. Yeah, that's
yeah.
A&M Hype.
Just kidding.
But so yeah, are you guys trying to talking about Flight Club in round 2? Do you guys hope to emulate them or go off on your own path? What do you guys want to do with this shop right now?
With this shop, what I would like to go kind of on my own path.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I want to just get to where I can just give back to the community. So the kids that can afford shoes and stuff, take a bunch of shoes to the schools and to the different missions and stuff like that. And that's my goal, is just kind of be different, give back to the community. But I think as far as those other shops, I feel like we're there.
Yeah.
I really honestly
Yeah, you're
truly
definitely there.
feel like we're there, and I'm not the type of person that likes to overwhelm people with just, racks of clothing racks and stuff like that. I don't feel like you can get the full effect when you walk in the door and you're just overwhelmed with a lot of clothing and stuff.
That's
'Cause
interesting.
You see
honestly,
walls of shoes.
do you
that,
ever do you
20,
go look?
25 high.
Do you really look, or is it just so overwhelming I can speak for myself. It's overwhelming for me because it's I can't. It's so tight in their clothing.
Yeah.
You can't really see what's in there.
And they're also in the sneaker stores and sneaker companies like that are becoming more and more mindful of preserving their clothing. So it's in those suit bags. So you can't really get a feel for it. Here you guys don't have that, which is cool because that goes back to the whole experience thing. You walk in and it feels like something that you could just hang out in. There's couches here. You guys got the gaming systems and stuff But at certain other places, there's the shrink wraps and all sorts of places where you can't even touch it. You have to look at it from. You could be holding it but not actually holding it. It's
And I've been to other sneaker shops where you can't try on the sneakers, you can't feel the sneakers, you can't.
Yeah.
And people want to feel, and people want to see, people want to try on. People, you're buying a $300 pair of shoe, you got to make sure it fits. You're buying a $200 jacket, you want to make sure it fits. You want to make sure it fits your style.
I've had to deal with that. I bought a pair of Yeezys and I wanted to try it on, and I was like, I've never had a pair of these. Can I try it? And then I was like, okay, let me try it on. That was before I was even really. And they're like, dude, you cannot try these on. What do you think you're doing? I was like,
this guy's got a pair of the off-whites, the Zoom flies, huh? And he. I was looking at him, and he's like, dude, those are such a tight fit.
Yeah, so
he's like, they're my size, but they're so tight. And it'd be
toes
nice.
crunching.
Yeah, it'd be nice if
You
you
gotta
just
make sacrifices now.
Yeah,
exactly. You gotta take the insole out.
I've always said suffer for the swagger. Man. Suffer for the swagger.
You got to.
Yeah, but that's kind of, every shoe's different. Every size is different. I mean, the Yeezys, they're different. They feel different, so you really have to try everything on. And that's what he taught me, is try everything on and make sure it fits your foot. Because we go to sneaker cons and stuff and we don't try on the shoe, and we're getting home with our new shoes and we're like, oh crap, this
Still even fit.
my toes have to curl, or it's just too big, or whatever, so I get it.
So, coming up, I mean, the shoe game's obviously a revolving game. I mean, shoes are hot, shoes are not. What can we expect from NM Hype, shoe wise, here in the next month or so, a few months? Clothing, items, stuff like that. Anything that you guys are particularly looking forward to? Any drops?
Just all the drops.
Yeah.
Just
Gotta be inspired by
trying
everyone.
to obtain all of the drops, all of the hype drops. And I think that's where it's at, is people come in the door looking for those drops, and then just trying to get to the point where we have a lot of shoes in there so we can start doing the raffles and stuff like that. And not even the raffles, maybe the lines,
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for, is the lines. Get people so hyped up.
Yeah.
Line them up out front and
Right.
have them wrap around.
That's kind of
and fill up.
that's kind of how you know. And you guys have already made it, but if you guys could get a line out the door, at any store, we're like, wow, there's 50 people out there waiting to come in here and buy one thing. You're like,
wow, we're really doing something.
And you guys have had that.
Yeah,
I've seen on your
I've
guys'
seen a lot of
social.
before.
We've had it, yeah. And sometimes they'll do it, and then like if we do like raffles and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty packed in here a few times.
Right. And then we're gonna start opening every day.
Okay. Cool.
That's the goal. Is to open every day, every morning, just trying to be here as much as we possibly
That's
can.
awesome.
Because you guys right now are Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Saturdays,
okay.
right?
Cool. Well, that would be awesome, definitely, because I know personally, sometimes it's hard to make it to those times, but being able to come in anytime would be awesome.
And then the mall. We're looking at moving to the mall.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
That would be huge.
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, our mall is taking a dive.
Yeah, it's
So that
it's
would
like
be huge.
trying to kill itself almost, and I feel like you guys could definitely revive it.
Right. So so maybe that's a possibility.
That'd be awesome.
In the near future, and that's where we're at. Is getting this shop and moving it, and then trying to maximize it. I mean, I see myself owning 3 to 5 shops just in New Mexico.
That'd be crazy. Like all different cities in New Mexico
I think
as well.
Ruidoso would be a really good place because you got all the Texas people coming through and
I
You
love
got
it.
the casinos
the
too.
downtown and stuff
People
like
are gonna
that.
want to go spend their money.
Hit the slots and right over to NM Hype.
Yeah. Win big and go get some kicks.
Get
But
some 11s.
so that's pretty much all we have for the interview with you guys. Something we like to do with every guest that we have is we usually do like top 5 athletes because a lot of times we have sports guests on or we've had musicians on. We kind of want to do. Could you guys give us each of your top 5 sneakers of all time? And if you guys, I know it's hard to do. Like it's hard.
It's hard. People.
It's even hard to name like top 5 athletes of all time or musicians. Could you guys give us each your top 5 sneakers of all time? It's tough, right?
Top 3.
Everybody knows mine, so any Travis Scott collab, I'm always trying to get it.
That's 1 through
Yeah.
5.
Probably the OG Wave Runner.
Okay.
That's probably one of my other ones. The bread toe, the Jordan 1 bread toe. I like that one a
I
lot.
saw a pair of those today. I've had those. I think I sold those here, honestly. Maybe not actually.
And then the flu games. That's That's like I need them. Like I
Yeah,
want them so
yeah.
bad.
Yep.
That's another one.
Okay, cool. We can go 3 since we have. We'll just do top 3 since there's 4 of us. We'll do 3. What about you?
Mine's probably like a Chicago ones,
It's a classic.
and then cement 4s.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Like the 4s, and then the Space Jams.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
So they said you were the Gucci girl and you like the.
Well, I like the Red Octobers.
Okay, there you go.
One of the most hyped shoes ever. Do you have them?
No, I want them. I actually placed the bid on StockX.
Oh really? Okay.
I just didn't tell these guys. But
Which
yeah,
is
I want
nice.
them. I want them for the shop. I want all 3 pairs. But I would say the Red Octobers. I like the Serena Williams, the Off-Whites.
Oh, those are cool. Yeah.
And I have a pair, and I have the UNC Jordan, the ones, and the Off-Whites, but I don't wear them. I'm afraid to wear my shoes.
A lot of people are.
I really am afraid to wear my shoes.
I don't wear my Sean Witherspoon.
So I just kind of let these guys wear them. But ask these guys, I hate to wear them. I'm like so
BS
scared. And then I guess the Presto. I want to dye it purple.
You want the white ones?
Mm-hmm.
That would look awesome.
For me, top 3 probably like it's just OG colorways. I like Jordan what he wore. I like the white cement 3s, the red 11s, and my ultimate grail is What the Dunk low.
Oh yeah,
That's the grail, man.
Yeah.
The SB Bar used to be awesome.
Yeah, man.
They used to
And they
be.
used to be low too.
Yeah.
And they went up.
Yeah,
And when I told him, get them now, and he was like, no, I don't want them. And now guess where they're at?
There used to be a lot of people you could argue that people collab with the SBs more than they did with any other shoe. Like, there's like the De La Soul dunks, there's the Pigeon dunks, there's the Supreme dunks, and then they have like the crazy, really like the Freddy Kruegers. Also, those things are crazy.
And see, I like the dunks.
I think they look cool, and those are those are ones
I
I
like
can
the
rock.
lobsters. I'm just missing the red.
Oh, the red ones.
I have everything else but the red.
Oh, do you guys have the De La Soul over there?
Yeah, we have
Oh, you do have the De La Souls.
That and
Pretty
the special boxes. I love the special boxes.
The packaging is an experience of its own.
It's crazy how big the packaging is too. Like everyone, like obviously you like to keep your shoes in the box, but the packaging is huge.
Yep. I was looking at the Kyrie's, the
Yeah,
Lucky
the-
Charms.
Yeah, they got the
That-
Wheaties
that-
ones,
That
the Kyrie.
box is amazing.
Frozen, the Krispy Kremes too.
The Krispy, yeah. Oh yeah, that's what. Krispy Kremes.
Well, we had the Krispy Kremes. I don't know if we still have them.
No, so
We had it
So
with
dope.
the special box. It looked like a Krispy Kreme box.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think that about wraps it up. We appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. This is a great time for
Thank
us.
you guys for coming.
So throw it out there. Where can they follow you guys?
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that. Website. If you
we
guys-
have Instagram.
yeah, follow us on Instagram at @NMHype_. And then we're open here Saturdays 12 to 4, and then Wednesdays 5 to 8.
All right.
Well, yeah, that wraps up our interview.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks
Thank you
again, guys, for coming on.
Thank you.
Quick reminder here, this podcast is brought to you by Anchor, which is by far the most efficient way to start your own podcast. Anchor has all the tools you need to start your own podcast, which are easily available straight from your phone or computer. All these tools are free of charge, so go over and get started.
Editing your podcast on Anchor is easier than ever, and making your podcast sound great is a breeze. One perk of Anchor is that making money is extremely easy, and there is no minimum listenership.
Another thing that's great about Anchor is that it will distribute your podcast to as many platforms as you want to be heard on. If you're interested in starting your own podcast today, make sure you download the Anchor app or head to anchor.fm to get started. Okay, that was our interview right there with NM Hype. Great people over there. They've got a good thing going on here in Las Cruces. What did you guys think about the interview?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, shoes and shoe game, especially nowadays, it's so big for athletes, and it's a growing. I mean, there's so many sneakerheads out there. I mean, Tennessee's a big sneakerhead. Bryce and I are up and coming, I guess you can say, but T's a pro in the sneaker game.
Yeah, I've been on for a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, it was really cool getting to hear other sneakerheads who do this as a living. Go talk about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's cool.
They have. I mean, we walked around, checked it out. The shoes they have in there, I mean, amazing. You're talking, 4 figures, 5 figures for shoes. Like, it just blows your mind. You look down and you see something that's worth more than your car.
Yeah, it's great. Something
And
like a
it
normal
goes
car.
on your feet.
It's a crazy business, and it's something to, we talk to athletes about their profession, so to speak, and their expertise, and to hear in depth about them, and then we go and talk about the sneaker community and the sneaker culture and the business itself, and it's a $1 billion industry.
Oh yeah.
With the resale game, and so think about it. What it'd be if you added just retail?
Yeah, because
Like
I mean, some of the shoes we look at, the retail price for them that you would buy them in stores, it's like 120, 150, 180, 200.
Yeah, and
But
then
they
you see
sell
them
for like $1,000.
quadruple, quintuple the amounts.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a cool business, and it was cool to hear it firsthand from a store that is doing it the right way and doing it, and becoming really becoming really successful with it, and especially here in Las Cruces. If you have any interest in getting into streetwear or getting into shoes of that you couldn't normally get here in Las Cruces, I would head over to NM Hype because they're really good people.
Yeah. They're awesome.
Yeah, they came in. They came in on their off day when they weren't open. When took their own time out. Took their time out of their own day.
Yeah, they have the employees come in.
Yeah, they had. We all thought it was just going to be 1 or 2. They had the whole staff come up in there and do the podcast with it. It was awesome. It really felt kind of like a family type business, family run. So it was cool.
So the cool thing about it is we actually got to do the interview over at the store. So if you guys aren't watching this on YouTube right now, listening on Apple or Spotify or whatnot, go on over to YouTube, where from here on out we're going to be posting video of us interviewing our guests.
Yep.
Every guest that we interview will be on YouTube and it will be recorded. We're still trying to work with this camera. It's a super dope camera. We're just trying to figure out all the ins and outs of it. But yeah, like I said, go over to YouTube to see the videos always. And we also have another announcement. So this summer, we're just going to break it down to 1 podcast per week. It's going to be every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Kind of take the load, because it's as little as we thought we expected, and as probably most people realize. This is very time-consuming. Podcasting is very time-consuming. Like, the nights are long when it comes to editing all this stuff and going out and getting interviews.
Yep.
But we're going to be doing it once per week, at least during the summer. When we get back into the school semester, we'll have more opportunities to interview more athletes as we'll be in season and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But so yeah, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. YouTube, Spotify, Apple will be going up. But I think that's about it we have for this episode number 13. Right?
Oh, yeah, just keep the love coming. Show us the
you guys are
love
awesome.
on Instagram, Twitter, everything. Let us know who you guys want us to talk to. Keep it up. We love the suggestions.
Yeah, just like you said, suggest to anybody. Like, hit our DMs, hit our direct messages on Instagram, Twitter. If you have our numbers, text us. Like, you can text us stuff that maybe we're not hitting right. Like, if you want to text us about a sport that maybe we're not talking about, like just any expertise or any insight.
Excited. We will have a segment coming up once the Women's World Cup starts.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to talk
I think I'm
about
gonna
that.
go copy an Alex Morgan jersey.
Oh, dude.
I really think I am.
I love Alex Morgan.
Yeah. But okay, cool. So that's all we have for this podcast. Like I said, if you guys can go, click the link on our Anchor site where you can support us. 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, and like I say every time, for those with deeper pockets, $9.99 a month.
Go get yourself a hug.
Yeah, you guys can hit us with some money. We'll give you some hugs.
And I think, is merch coming soon?
Oh,
Yeah,
merch
so
is
this-
coming so. Oh,
This is another announcement. We're currently working on logos, designs for some T-shirts. Just right off the bat, we're looking at prices because obviously we're all broke college kids, and we're trying to find the cheapest but most.
But you
Best
guys
quality.
will not be disappointed.
Yeah.
The ideas we have right now,
Yeah.
really
They're flowing.
nice. Yeah, they're looking really good.
Mhm.
We're figuring out that we may or may not be graphic designers.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I don't
Maybe
handle
not,
any of that.
May not, probably not,
Maybe
but
not, but
Ethan's handling our merch.
Yeah.
Get your merch.
get your merch.
yes, merch is
Big
on
bottle
the way.
brand. All right, guys. So we will see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. We have a really cool interview coming up that we will not announce yet until this weekend. But yes, we are all ready for this outro. We're all about 2 inches from the microphone. We out.
Bye, buddy.
Later,